Good afternoon, everyone. We're here today in our roastery warehouse just to talk about how Stella Rossa differs in the market from other cafe franchise systems that are available. So to start off with, I'd probably say I think how we differ the greatest in the biggest area, is flexibility.
Yeah, and flexibility is a bit of we've got to be careful that we define flexibility because we don't sort of, just let people go off and do whatever they want to do. But around, and that's not to, have a go there, mate.
No, I agree.
But it's more how we differ with that flexible model, and because most franchise systems are quite rigid. We do have all that, we have all the systems in place and and very, very good systems. But I guess to start off, probably our menu is one of the main,
that's a good example.
Main areas of flexibility. So every menu across our network is slightly different. So Phil and I sat down. This was actually pre-COVID, and we started talking about what's the future look like with Stella Rossa and our menu, and we started to sort of see patterns that not every area is exactly the same. So from an example, like what people eat in Rockhampton is totally different to what they eat in at the Gold Coast. So we threw it around. We boardroom with our senior management team, and look, it creates a hell of a lot of work, a lot of extra work, but definitely worth it. So probably from the main points. So I guess core menu items.
So to clarify the flexibility from the menu, you'd say we have core menu items, say for breakfast. There might be eggs Benny, bacon and eggs, the works type of thing when you're dining in store. So we'll send out a menu spreadsheet, for want of a better word, and it'll have all the core menu items listed for breakfast, and then it'll have the electives or the choice of items that the individual cafe owner wants to run. So all of those come with recipes, they're costed, description of how they're cooked, that type of stuff. They come with a recommended retail price and kilojoule loadings. So all that work's done. We'd normally in breakfast say we might recommend a cafe runs about 8 items. It might be the 4 core items, 4 or 5 electives. And that structure, I suppose, runs across the all-day menu or lunch menu if they're operating at night for dinner menu.
But it's been an absolute winner. Yeah. It really has, and look, it has created a bit of a lot of extra work for our team, but it's worth it. It's a massive point of difference, and I guess when we're opening a new store, so it's basically untested. We can pretty much guide a franchisee with what that menu should look like based on historical data, demographics of similar areas. But no, it's really, really proud of it.
Yeah, it's been a really good initiative, I think, with us leading that market in that area, for example. Yeah, not too many other operators or franchise systems were doing anything even close to it from a flexible menu. So that's one aspect of flexibility, I'd say. I'd probably say in the business I handle a lot to do with the store setup and opening and design. So I'd say we've got flexibility in how we look and feel from a store model. We've got some general rules or look and feel that we want to kind of stay with, but to a certain extent it's a bit like using the example of if you're going to build a house and you go to a developer's showroom and you can choose colours, textures, finishes that you want to have in your own house. It's a similar style that we try and apply to the stores that we're opening. So we'll sit down with the operator if we've got one already, and then look to see how they can personalise it with their wishes within that store build.
We actually encourage them and invite them to get as involved in that process as they want. Not everybody wants to. There's a lot that will just say, look, you guys know what you're doing. Just we're happy with whatever. But then others really want to get involved in the choosing furniture and some of the finishings. And as Phil said, we've got a set of rules that we still want it to look like a Stella Rossa. But I guess we're so far from that cookie cutter type model and we can then adapt that to suit a development. You know, if there's a new centre that goes in and it's quite industrial, we can wrap a look and feel into that centre as well. So,
and probably a good example of that, we have got a corporate store that we're running in McGregor in Brisbane. It's a kiosk outlet, brand new build in a Harvey Norman complex. So the kiosk, when it was getting built and we had to get down to plans and finishes and looks, we actually opted to go with the look and the feel and the same finishes as the mall finish, the centre mall finish, and what the complex has, just so it ties in and looks like a complete part of the complex in the centre, not just a thumb sticking out, so to speak.
And the retail design managers for Harvey Norman, they loved that, you know, because it was just, well, it was easy for them as well. So we went the same tiles. Obviously we've got our brand there, but there's all the furniture out of Harvey Norman and Domain. That's a great example of it. So I guess probably another thing that we, a point of difference is we feel that we've got, I suppose, a model for everybody and for most budgets. From a small kiosk model, that can be a nice low entry for a franchise partner. Then we've got, it's the small cafe model. What size would that be?
Oh, they'd be anywhere from about 70 square metres through to maybe 90. Type of thing. Maybe a little bit of outside seating depending on the site.
Then through to a larger cafe. Restaurant style, which will be 150 to 175 internal plus external seating area. So, and some of those we've got we've got 50, 60 square metres of seating outside. So it's quite a big site. Then through to a drive-through. So which once again that's a more expensive option. But I guess too, one thing we also, I'm going to say we differ is that we're very transparent. We run an extremely transparent model. So anything that we can save, we will pass on to the franchisee. Any contributions we get through negotiations with landlords, we pass on to the franchisee. So I guess our goal is to get our franchisees in at the best possible price.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think we're not there to do an upfront cost and make a margin on the build. We're there for the long term as the franchise partner is probably the easiest way of explaining it. So,
and I guess if they've got if we spend all their money in one go, it's all gone. Where if we can get them into possibly two sites for a budget that they come to us with. So that's I guess another point of difference we've got would be probably buying local.
I agree. The buy local. That's a good point. I suppose by buy local, we're talking about, I suppose, the short shelf perishable items that a cafe has to run through, from fruit and veg, pastries, bakery items that, for example, say we can't really ship stuff like that or freight stuff like that from Brisbane through to Cairns, for example. So we're encouraging the franchise partners across the board to source locally through a local connection there. So they're kind of supporting the local community, but also getting a fresher, more, I suppose, a better product, which they can then pass on to the customers.
Yeah, so. And I guess our tagline we're currently using is "Your Local Cafe." For that reason, we want to embed ourselves into the community. Okay, we are a brand, and look, we're still a small brand, relatively speaking, but we want to maintain that local cafe look and feel, so that if our franchise partners are buying from local bakers, local butchers, fruit and veg, it just bolsters that
part of the community
goodwill, I guess, goodwill feel, that's been a real winner. And look, we've got providers that are our approved suppliers, and if franchisees don't want to buy local, they can buy through our providers. But I think most buy nearly all of those items that Phil mentioned before through local providers.
They do.
And why wouldn't you? It's
Yeah, and I think just on that local buy part of the local community, all of our stores, we don't run one central Instagram or Facebook account for for the stores.
Good point.
Each store has their own local Instagram and Facebook. How much they want to post and participate in that from a local community perspective is entirely up to the operator with that site. We support them with imagery and tiles and so forth and materials for posting.
Yeah.
Or they just do their own organic stuff locally with their local community and interact locally.
It just gives them that bit of freedom.
Yeah.
And feeling like they're doing something for themselves as well, but they've got the backing of the brand. So I think then I guess rolling into one thing that I like to talk about, and from a onboarding perspective with new partners, is our fee structure, where we've got quite a low fee franchise fee model. It's where 6% of gross income is our fee plus a 1% marketing levy.
Yep.
And look, that's that there again. I mean, compared to competitors, it's very, very reasonable.
Yeah, I think we without going out and doing research on every single competitor in the market, I think we're certainly towards the lower end of the scale from what our royalty fee is. Yeah, I think marketing then too, as 1% is fairly affordable and achievable from the sector as well. Yeah.
We encourage franchise partners to use another or spend another 1% of their income into local area marketing. That's just so it's it doesn't, whether they all do or not, it's not a hard and fast rule that they have to, but we really do encourage it. Once again, it just whether they're supporting the local soccer team, local netball, basketball, whatever it is, school, it just bolsters that goodwill, community feel for the brand. And
it's open to the franchise partners in their local store how involved they get in that or not.
Yeah.
Either way, the corporate marketing fund then supports any printed material and graphic design that they need for their local area marketing as well.
But hopefully that gives you a bit of an understanding of where we feel we differ, as a brand and as a cafe system. And there's some good points in there that we're really proud of, and we will continue to upkeep.
Agreed. Thanks for your time.